Today we're touring a home that we renovated, and we're gonna go over how much it costs and what your return would be if you renovated it yourself. Let's go in and have a look. Before we dive into the numbers and what some of these renovations cost us, one thing I want to focus on is just the labor cost. So if you have some time in your hands or you have that skill set of doing some of these renovations, you can save 30 to 80% of some of these costs. But if you don't have that attention to detail, if you don't have that skill set, you might be doing a lot more damage than good. So keep that in mind. When you're doing these renovations, they have to be of good quality or don't bother doing them at all. Let's start off with the flooring that we chose. So this is a light, wide plank vinyl flooring that interlocks. Depending on the quality and where you're getting it, prices range anywhere from $1 to $5 per square foot just for the cost of the material. People have a lot of mixed feelings on vinyl flooring. Personally, I really like it. We install it in all of our renovated properties and also in our rentals because it's super durable and life-proof. One thing that you really need to keep in mind and watch out for is once you start getting into higher price points, into the 8s, 9s, $1 million price point, luxury vinyl floorings may not cut it. People are expecting more. People are expecting hardwood floors or engineered wide plank flooring. We're selling this home in the mid 600s, so this 100% works. This is going to work great for the family that's going to be purchasing the home. Again, if we're shooting for a higher price point, or maybe we're in a different community, we'd have to upgrade to that engineered flooring. But for this home, this worked out perfect. A few things to consider when you're installing vinyl flooring. So you could go glue down. It's nice, it's super easy to work with, and you can still go over old flooring if you don't want to take out the hardwood flooring or even tile, as long as it's all level and secure. The drawback to what we chose with the interlock is if one piece were to get damaged, instead of just cutting out the one piece and being able to put a fresh piece in, we'd have to maybe take out an entire section to replace just that one piece. So when we purchased this home, the front and rear entryways, the dining room, and all the bathrooms had tile, but instead of taking it out, we made sure it was level and we actually laid this vinyl right on top. It was super popular to see carpet in the office or in the living room, or all different sorts of flooring all on one level. So here we had tile, hardwood, and carpet. So because we had carpet here, we had to build up the floor just to make sure that there was no transition pieces anywhere on the main level. So it looks super clean, modern, and it looks like there was never carpet here before. But let's say you don't want to install your own vinyl. How much is it going to cost? So on average, it's anywhere from $1, $1.50 to $2. So including the price of material, you'll be paying anywhere from $5 to $7 installed. But that does not include the stairs. The stairs are pretty custom. They're going to have custom nosing, and there's going to be some additional work to make them fit. Each stair should cost anywhere from $90 all the way up to $140, depending on how complicated they are. So keep that in mind when you're budgeting. So the total cost for all the flooring in this home, including custom work, leveling, the stairs, was about $15,000. But if you're handy and you can do it yourself, you're gonna be less than $10,000 to complete all the flooring in this home. A lot of people forget that baseboards and sometimes even trim needs to come off, especially when we're doing renovations like we did here. And I'm sure we've all seen people try and cheat it where they add a piece of trim or molding in front just because they didn't want to take off the baseboard and sneak in the vinyl or the new flooring underneath. And it looks awful. If you're doing renovations around the house, especially something like this where we're changing out the flooring and changing elevation of the flooring, take off the baseboards. And this is actually a perfect time to consider changing out your baseboards because it gives it an amazing new look, especially when you're matching the trim and the baseboards. You're gonna see these modern MDF prime baseboards run about 60 cents or so per linear foot. It costs us just shy of $5,000 to complete all the baseboards and trim around the home. ROI on it isn't amazing, but the feel that it gives the entire home and the look of the home has changed drastically. So for me, this was completely worth it. Maybe not dollar for dollar, but for the feel and look of the home, 100%. If we're looking at the average home in Calgary being about 1,800 square feet above ground, and painters are charging about $2.2 a square foot, that's gonna cost $4,000 to paint the average home in Calgary, where you could probably do it yourself for about $500 to $700. Painting is an upgrade that can add massive value, and unlike a lot of other upgrades, it's something that majority of people are able to do. For instance, this is what this room looked like before the paint. If you're considering doing any other renovations like trim, baseboards, flooring, or cabinetry, try and do all the work at once. It's a lot more cost effective and time effective as well. If you're looking to update your home, give it more of a modern feel, do what we did. So we chose to refinish our bar, our entertainment area, and our vanity upstairs. It's given it a modern feel, it looks fantastic, and we saved about $9,000 to $10,000 respraying and refinishing it rather than replacing everything. The total cost to paint the home, and that includes the baseboards, trim, cabinetry, and walls, and some of the exterior, was about $12,000. And we added just over $20,000 worth of value. This is probably one of the most, if not the most important room when it comes to resale on a home. It's a lot more cost effective than you think, but we definitely ran into some snags. We could have kept the old cabinets, resprayed them, added a new backsplash, maybe new countertops and some fixtures, but we didn't. We chose to go ground up and rebuild this kitchen. These cabinets are from IKEA. They're shaker style, they're classy. We chose full length, upgraded cabinets. Just the cost of the cabinets was about $7,000, but they wanted over $4,000 just to install them. We found someone that installed the entire kitchen for less than $2,000. But again, it comes back to if you're handy and you're willing to take on a project like this, you can save thousands of dollars and increase your profits drastically. So we're at $9,000, and that doesn't seem like a whole lot for an entire kitchen, but these quartz countertops throughout the whole kitchen were an additional $4,000, and that includes the cost of the sink. The appliances were another $5,500, and the backsplash with install was about $1,500. So the total cost doesn't include the plumbing work that went into it and then some of the electrical and lighting work as well. Realistically, if we were shooting for a higher sale price, or even renovating the home for ourselves, we most likely would have extended the cabinetry and designed this kitchen to have all built-in appliances rather than the way that we went. So the total cost for this entire kitchen was about $20,000, but we added over $30,000 of value to this home. So great ROI. When you're looking at resale, you really have to look at who the buyer is and understand what your ceiling price is, not just for the area, but for the home itself. So if we wanted this to be an $800,000 house, or if this could be an $800,000 or $900,000 house, this kitchen easily could have been $50,000, $60,000, $80,000, $90,000. If you're considering renovating your kitchen, but you're keeping resale in mind, reach out to us or your agent and just get some advice. It's very easy to go overboard, and that's fine. Do those custom renovations or buy that $10,000 stove, but make sure that you understand that's for you and you may not get that money back on resale. So let's talk about some of the hiccups that we had with this kitchen. A lot of people are concerned ordering from a big box store like IKEA. So some of the parts were sent to the wrong address. Some parts weren't sent out at all. There's a lot of delays. And even though we had an IKEA tech come out and measure everything, we still had some things that weren't measured correctly, and we just had to make it fit and work. We also have size restrictions here. So originally we wanted to have a coffee bar here and extend this countertop all the way, but we don't have very much room here. The back door is right here. So the distance that we have between the dining room table and the back door, then the island and where the coffee bar would have been, it just got too tight. So we had to delete all of this. Before we started construction, the goal was to get rid of this corner pantry. It is useful, but I hate corner pantries and I hate the look of them. So ideally the cabinets would have joined in the corner, would have opened everything up, made it look super modern, but the cost of getting rid of the walls, adding the extra cabinetry, and the ROI just wasn't there. Again, if this were my home and I was renovating, we definitely would have been losing this pantry. What do you think costs more, this flimsy piece of glass or this entire vanity? It's the glass. The glass costs more. Anything custom glass is big money, and I mean big, big money. The average 3-walled glass shower runs about $4,000 to $6,000, and that door alone costs us almost $1,000. The other additional unexpected cost that we saw was having to refinish this entire tub. Refinishing or resurfacing your tub or shower is a great way to spruce them up. Over time, they're gonna discolor, stain, scratch. In this one, for instance, we had deep gouges and almost a crack, and now the tub looks brand new. We received a quote when we were starting construction to do a standalone tub with a nice fixture, fix the surrounding walls for about $3,500. The tub resurface itself only costs about $800. And again, the tub looks brand new. We kept the vinyl floor going in here and we added the custom tile in all of the full bathrooms along with the quartz countertops. And we actually changed this one into a 5-piece ensuite, adding a second sink in and new toilet and new fixtures. This entire bathroom cost us under $6,000 to renovate. We added like $10,000 to $12,000 worth of value, turning it into a 5-piece ensuite and doing all the work that we did. In all the other bathrooms, we added new vanities, but in this one, we chose to actually respray the original one. We added the quartz countertops, fixtures, toilet, the flooring, and then the custom tile. If you wanted to get the highest ROI in a bathroom, the fixtures, countertop, and paint are the best. If I were doing all this work myself, the cost of the respray, the fixture, the countertop, flooring, and some of the tile, just for material, we'd be under $1,100. But you would be 3 to 4xing your money doing it yourself. When we first took possession of this home, some of the weeds were 2 to 3 feet tall. There's actually a box spring and a small retaining wall right here. This isn't the best time of year to showcase our amazing landscaping, but one weekend of hard work and $2,000 worth of sod, our front and backyard went from looking like a scene from The Last of Us to a beautiful family yard. The labor cost to install the sod and level everything out was just under $2,000. So for a total cost of $4,000, we were able to completely transform this yard and even add some decorative rock at the front. The return on investment on this landscaping was over double. Initially, this home showed so poorly on the outside, turned a lot of buyers off. I was really hoping that we could have had this home on the market a lot sooner in the year so we could actually showcase what we did out here. There's a lot of work that went into this home that we didn't discuss today, but if we only consider the landscaping, primary ensuite, kitchen, paint and flooring costs, which totaled $57,000, and we compare that to the $92,000 of value that we added, that's a $35,000 profit just on that work alone. And if you were to do all of that work yourself, you'd be profiting closer to $60,000. If you want to double or maybe even triple your ROI, renovating yourself might be the way to go.